Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy solstice. It's the longest day of the year for those of us on the western side of the hemisphere. Northern hemisphere. Sorry, I think it's the shortest day for the southern hemisphere. I don't really remember, to be honest. I can't remember how that works. I think Australia is celebrating their shortest day of the year, and it's cold there now. So, anyway, it's the solstice. Today's June 21st, and it's the longest day of the year here in sunny Florida, and I will tell you, it is hot. And my oven has just turned on, so we're working now. So, it's been crazy here in the kitchen. I have been working basically every day except Tuesday in the kitchen getting food done. I have had a lot of stuff to take care of this week. Andy and I are getting ready to head out for another road trip, and so while we're doing that, or in preparation for that, I guess I should say, I've been making a lot of food. I've been making road trip snacks, and I've been making camping food, and I've been making gratitude food, what I like to call gratitude food, for the people who are going to come and watch our house and take care of the cats. So we really like to have someone here at all times when we're gone and we're traveling, just so that way we know everything is safe and, kept an eye on, and the cats are all doing well and they have someone to snuggle with. So we are getting ready for that. So I've been just cooking nonstop. It's been kind of crazy, but I'm looking forward to our trip. So today we are getting ready for hot lunch for Big Cat Rescue tomorrow. I'm not actually going to be attending Big Cat Rescue. I'm not going to be volunteering tomorrow because I have a lot of stuff I need to finish up before we leave here. So Andy actually is going in tomorrow, and he'll be bringing the meals with him. So I'm very lucky to have him be going, and it's good for him to get in there and get some hours in and say hi to everybody, since he's only been here 2 weekends. This will be his second weekend at Big Cat. So he'll be heading in and he'll be dropping off lunches for me. But this weekend I'm going with a kind of an Asian theme, I would say. I'm making teriyaki bowls. So I have vegan orders and I have omnivore orders. And so my vegan orders are cauliflower teriyaki bowls. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And then I have chicken teriyaki bowls that I have already done up and, put to the side. So those are all set and done. But I wanted to show you guys the teriyaki bowls. It's the same process throughout. So it doesn't matter if you're using chicken or cauliflower or beef or tofu, or even if you wanted to do shrimp, that would be a great way to kind of do that. And it's just the same process throughout. So I went ahead and I made my teriyaki sauce ahead of time, just because I didn't have the tools I needed to make it for you guys right in front of you. So it's cooling down and it's thickening up a little bit. So this is kind of what it looks like as it's thickening. But with that recipe that you guys have for the teriyaki sauce, it's different than that teriyaki marinade we used for the kebabs back in April. This is more of like a thickened sauce. It's actually going to coat everything beautifully and nicely. And again, with a lot of the recipes I use and that I make up and share with you guys, remember that you can kind of adjust these things as you like. So if you want this to be more of like a sweet teriyaki sauce, definitely add more of that brown sugar. If you want it to be a little bit more kind of gingery, you can add more ginger root or more garlic. It just depends on what you have on hand, but also what your personal preferences are. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to turn on my little doodad here. All right, so this is going to make a little bit of extra noise, but it does heat really quickly, and this gives you guys the opportunity to kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna take some unflavored oil. I said vegetable oil. I like grapeseed personally, and I've just kind of put it in my pan here. Oh, sorry. I forgot I can't lift my pan up. So when I do, like when I make omnivore meals, when I make meals for people who have requested like chickens, for example, when I did the chicken, I went ahead and I cooked the chicken in the pan just because it was easier and I could kind of keep tabs on it. With the cauliflower, what I did is I went ahead and I just roasted it in my toaster oven, in my June, which I absolutely love. So I roasted the cauliflower, and that got me a nice little kind of char going on here. And that way I can kind of know that it's already sort of pre-cooked, which is nice. But I am going to go ahead and kind of cook it a little bit more. I'm just waiting for my pan to kind of heat up, and then I can get going. So I've chosen to use 3 different vegetables in my teriyaki bowls, and you can go as extreme or as narrow, it's like limited on your vegetables as you want. I've chosen broccoli and red pepper, like red bell pepper, and then I went ahead and I did some snow peas. I just really like that combination. But you guys can do whatever you want. You can do, you know, if you want carrots, if you want celery, if you want onion, if you want, you know, anything else that you can think of, edamame, you can do that. That's really the nice thing about this, is that it's nice and versatile. So I'm going to get my cauliflower in. And I'm just going to kind of give this a stir. And I might need a little bit more oil since I'm doing a bigger pan. And when you're doing this with your protein of any kind, you want to make sure that you've got enough oil that it doesn't stick, but also enough oil so that your veggies can cook and not stick as well. This is a really great and versatile dish. You can kind of make this however you want. That's the beautiful part, is that it really is just super simple to customize to your preferences, your diet. And that teriyaki sauce is really nice because you can use whatever kind of soy sauce you want. If you like the full sodium soy sauce, you can use that. I personally am preferential to the low sodium soy sauce. That's just what we use here at home and what I keep on hand. So I'm just kind of looking at portion sizes here. Yeah, that's gonna be a nice portion for my 4 vegan meals that have been requested. And on top of that, I'm going to add more vegetables. There we go. So do we have any questions so far? Does anybody have anything that they need clarified? Are people still kind of just jumping in?
Let's see. We are getting some June questions. Funny enough, do you wanna talk about June? Should we say anything yet?
That's kind of up to you.
Go for it.
So the June is a toaster oven that I purchased. It's actually right behind me, and I'm going to use it a little bit later in this video because I wanted to show you guys what I'm making for hot lunch dessert. So the June is sort of this amazing do-all, be-all toaster oven, and I feel like calling it a toaster oven is sort of
it's
putting it to it's understating it.
It's definitely not a toaster oven.
It's so much more than a toaster oven. It does more than just bake and toast. It roasts and it deep fries, and let's see, it doesn't deep fry, I'm sorry, it air fries. Did I say deep fry? I think I did. It does a slow roast method, so you can put in like a roast if you wanted to. You can do something like that. So it has those options. And then You can dehydrate things. So it really is so much more than a toaster oven. It even has a camera built into it from the top, so you can watch your food if you want to. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get, I feel like I just need a little bit more oil, just because this pan is so big. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and toss in my veggies. And really, the veggies are kind of just sort of like an add-in. They're not going to be your main focus. So just like if you were doing this with shrimp or chicken or tofu, these extra veggies would sort of be your add-in. So I'm not going to add too many veggies because I want really to kind of make the cauliflower the main star of this dish. Now, you can season your main protein or your main entree component, if you will, with salt and pepper, but you are using that teriyaki sauce, and that is going to have a lot of salt and a lot of flavoring and seasoning in it. So I personally would skip that. I would just not salt your main option. I'm going to turn this down because it's getting a little far gone. All right, so I really want my veggies to be this beautiful kind of vibrant color, but still, retain their crispness. I don't want them to get too far gone where they're kind of mushy. So this becomes a really fast process once you get cracking. I think I need to turn that up again. I'm still just getting used to this new little cooking surface here, so you guys get to come along on this ride with me, so to speak. Do we have any other questions?
Let's see. Do we want to maybe put together like a massive potluck, at some point?
A massive potluck.
Let's see. Yeah, Joan is asking.
Joan, are you local? Are you near the Tampa, Florida area? If so, we could consider it, but maybe not right now. It's really stinking hot outside. Let's maybe wait until it's cooler. Winter in Florida. Yeah, it's brutal out there. I don't know how our cats are hanging out on the lanai. They have just been loving it.
They haven't been out there all week.
That's true. The screening had been sort of broken, and we don't let them out when the screening is really not in good shape, simply because we don't want them to escape. But it's been so rainy the first half of the week, and we've been so busy that Andy finally got around to repairing the screen earlier today. So the cats have finally been able to go outside. All right.
That's why Jonah was asking. Because every time we're cooking, it seems like we're cooking for somebody.
Oh, so, gotcha.
Jonah might not be a big cat rescue fan, so you might need to explain who you're cooking for here.
Got you. So Joan, what I'm doing here is I'm making what I call hot lunch. And it's this program that I have started at the organization Andy and I volunteer at called Big Cat Rescue. We're based in Tampa, Florida, and we are a sanctuary for abused and neglected exotic cats. So think bobcats, lynx, tigers, lions, ocelots, all of those kinds of exotic cats that people have either kept as privately owned pets, which is really not the best thing for anybody, including the cats, especially the cats, but also used in human entertainment. So every Saturday I bring in lunch for people that have signed up. I'm going to go ahead and do this real quick, and I'll keep talking about hot lunch in just a second. So I'm just adding my sauce, and I'm really just eyeballing it. I like things to be a little bit saucier, Some people don't like as much sauce. So you just kind of eyeball it, but you really want the sauce to kind of get in there and coat everything. And this is easier with a wok or a kind of a deeper pan, but this is kind of all I had to work with this new little bit of technology. So you really want the sauce to just get in there and coat all of your ingredients. So I do need a little bit more sauce, I think. And this thing just responds so quickly that I'm gonna turn it up one more and really get this going. And then once I'm done with this, then I'll kind of explain a little bit more about the hot lunch program at Big Cat. Just so that I don't forget. Don't let me forget, babe.
Don't forget.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Smart Alec. Alright, so it's really just this beautiful, like, gorgeous sauce that's sort of coating everything and turning it into this yummy deliciousness. Alright.
Her name is pronounced Jana.
Oh, Jana.
Okay. It is pronounced John with an A.
Okay, I apologize.
John A. John A. John A. I'm good, John. All right. Quick question from Wendy. No, Wendy, we didn't get to participate in Alpha's release.
No, we were not part of Alpha's release. So we had a bobcat that we rehabilitated. I'm going to set this to the side. At Big Cat Rescue, it's one of the things that we do. We are usually contacted by Florida wildlife officials regarding an injured or abandoned bobcat that needs our help. And it can only be a local bobcat that we can work with, or not a local, but a Florida bobcat. So we take them in and we rehabilitate them, and then we release them out back into the wild where they came from. And we just recently had a bobcat, yesterday actually, one of our rehabbed bobcats who she was released back out into the wild, which is always the best part for us.
So, what was this little burner? Barbara Bauer, is that name?
I will come back to that in just a second. I want to finish my Big Cat Rescue hot lunch.
Sorry, please.
No, that's okay. I knew if I didn't finish it, I would forget. So, so what happens at hot lunch is that I put out a post on our communication program that we have just for our organization, letting people know early in the week what's going to be for lunch. Do they want the vegan option or the omnivore option? And then they can tell me what they want if they're participating, and then I make up their food for them for one day of the weekend. So if it's Saturday that they're in and volunteering or working, they'll get their lunch directly from us on Saturday. If it's Sunday, we'll leave it in the refrigerator for them, either in the Keeper Cafe, which is where our keepers who do the cleaning up after the cats, breakfast, feeding, medication, that kind of thing. That's where they typically find their food, is in the Keeper Cafe, or in the partner pantry where our gift shop volunteers will go. They're in charge of giving tours, helping customers, that kind of thing, making sure our guests are taken care of. So every Friday, I go ahead and I prepare these meals for the people that have signed up for Big Cat Hot Lunch. There is a small fee. There's an initial fee that gets you reusable containers. I'll show you one real quick. So these reusable containers, they get you, $15 gets you 2 reusable containers and reusable utensils and your first meal. So that way I have a container for you specifically each time, and then when you get your lunch, that day, you drop off your clean, empty container for me to pick up and reuse. So, there you have it. So that's why I'm always making so much food. It's because there are so many people. I think this week I have 10 people or 11 people, so there's a lot of food being made. This little doodad here is it's basically a burner, like a stovetop burner. It's just one burner. It's used for induction methods of cooking, so I need to have a metal or a stainless steel cooking vessel. So it basically is a really nice little way to show you guys what I'm doing on the stovetop without having to stand over at my stove. So I just found this on Amazon. It had good reviews, and so that made things kind of easy. Any other questions before we...
No, there's something going on with Nikita here. I think Andy actually wants you to, extra chicken for Nikita.
Oh, Nikki. Nikki's on her diet because she's not a very active lady.
Let's see.
Nikita is our 420-pound lioness. She's our only lion at the property at the sanctuary.
Let's see. Bella asked, will we be there on the 5th?
The 5th of July?
I know I'm going to be there on the 4th. Your mom will be here on the 5th. I don't know. We'll get back to you.
I don't know. So, but since you guys have gotten sort of the demo of the bowl, and again, you can make that as saucy or as not saucy as you like.
Yeah, you can. Download the recipe, guys.
I wanted to show you what I was going to be making for dessert. Now, there's no recipe for this because it's really just, again, something I've seen done and I've made up on the fly. But again, keeping in that Asian sort of inspired feel, the lunch this weekend will consist of the teriyaki bowls. I'm going to layer some brown rice down, and then I'm going to put my either chicken or cauliflower teriyaki mix over the top. And then I'm going to sprinkle some green onion tops, like the green section, over that. And then I'm also going to sprinkle some sesame seeds over the top, just because I think that's super yummy. I'm also going to make an Asian slaw tomorrow morning. I didn't want to do it today because I didn't want the coleslaw to get too wilted and flimsy and kind of lose its integrity. But I am going to do dessert. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the dessert I'm going to make for hot lunch. So when you go to those Asian buffets, you know how they have those Chinese donuts. I'm sure you remember from when you were eating donuts and you were able to have gluten. You know those Chinese donuts?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to make a version of that.
I miss donuts.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I have gluten-free donuts here at the house. I'll be right back. I need this. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to make a variation of the Asian-inspired donut. And I am going to use, instead of just sugar, which typically I think they're coated with, I'm using sugar and Chinese 5-spice. It's one of my favorite spices to kind of use. It's a little bit more of a surprise because you don't really expect all of those extra flavors, but I really like this recipe and the way this works. So I'm gonna run and grab my ingredient because it's really just one ingredient, and I'll be right back. Oh, son of a nutcracker.
What'd you do?
I don't know. Something came. Oh,
You broke it.
it did.
You broke it.
Oh, well.
And that's talent. That is talent.
So my biscuits have already popped open, which is fine because it just happened probably a minute or two before we started. So I'm cheating and I'm using super easy dough. And I'm using a biscuit dough. Yay! So this is just an easy biscuit dough, and this is a canned biscuit that I bought at the grocery store, and it says that it shares equipment or machinery with items that may have milk in them, but otherwise they're pretty much vegan. So I can use this for all of my hot lunch participants, which is nice. So I'm basically just taking my biscuit and I'm cutting it into quarters, and I am rolling my quarters into little, almost like donut holes, if you will. And I have some melted butter over here, and it is vegan butter. And I mean, you could use real butter, or you could use margarine if you want. You could use coconut oil if you want. But I've gone ahead and I've got these guys in these little tiny, like ball shapes. So I'm going to grab a small container real quick. I'm just gonna empty some of this melted butter into a smaller container. It's a little bit warm. Let it get a little bit too far away from me. So, I've got my baking sheet, and I have wrapped it with a little bit of foil. I'm just gonna, let's see. All right, this doesn't feel too warm anymore. So let me grab a quick paper towel. Actually, we'll do this. All right, so basically I'm going to very quickly just kind of work my biscuit dough into this butter, just to kind of get it a little bit coarse, or a little bit wet, I guess you could say. And I'm just gonna roll my donut holes, since that's what I'm gonna call them, into this mixture. And I'm gonna do the same thing that I did last weekend. I'm gonna do a wet hand and a dry hand, because otherwise I'm just gonna be making a big giant mess. So this is a really simple way to make donuts if you are a person who likes donuts. So you can do this with just about any kind of flavoring. You could do this with just the classic cinnamon and sugar. You could do this with nutmeg. Ooh, this would be good with apple pie spice. That would be delicious. So there's all kinds of things that you could do, all different variations that you could do with these. And they're gonna get a little bit bigger when you cook them. I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick. But this is a really fun way to do this.
We have a collective, it looks like pumpkin pie spice.
Ooh, pumpkin pie spice.
Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, this is just a really great, simple dessert. It's really not complicated. I'm just gonna go ahead and get my donut holes all prepped. And then I'll go ahead and finish doing the sugar mixture over the top. Do we have any questions aside from people just kind of drooling?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Looks like everything's going well.
Good. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the upcoming holiday, because we will actually not be live next Friday. We're gonna take next Friday off completely and just spend time with family. But I know that everybody's kind of getting ready for the 4th of July. And I know that that's kind of a pretty big holiday for American citizens. So if you're watching from somewhere that is not America and you are not a U.S. citizen, or if you've not lived in the United States prior to, before, 4th of July is our Independence Day, and we tend to celebrate that pretty intently with fireworks. And there's a lot of like cookouts and barbecues and grilling. So remember that when you are getting ready for that holiday, that you can absolutely make something delicious for the people you love. And remember, it doesn't have to be fancy. Those corn dog muffins that I made a few weeks ago, those would be great for the 4th of July. And they're nice because you can make them ahead, which means more time spent with family instead of making food the day of or during the event. Potato salad is really that potato salad that I made along with the corn dog muffins. That's always a good one. Trying to think. Macaroni salad, that pasta salad I made. You could look for that. Trying to think what else we've done that that would be good. Honestly, food is best shared with people that you love and care about. So it doesn't matter what you really make. It doesn't matter if you buy a pack of hot dogs from the store and bring some buns. That's the most important part, really, is spending time with family and friends. And when you can share food with them and do those things together, that's really the most amazing part, in my opinion.
Oh.
What?
Fellow work. She is going, on the 4th of July, she's going to go sit with the animals at the local shelter so they're not scared.
Oh, Bella, that's so nice.
Awesome.
Bella's going to go sit with her local animal shelter so that they're not scared from the fireworks, which I think is amazing.
Let's see. Amy Whitney is making poke cake or poke cake?
Oh, poke cake.
Poke cake would be... I'm totally down for a gigantic poke cake.
Poke cake is when you make a box cake mix, or you just make like a cake from scratch, and then you take the back of a spoon and you poke holes in it, and then you pour, usually it's like delicious things over the top of the cake, like pudding and all sorts of amazing deliciousness, and then you top it with, do you remember that Oreo cake I made? You didn't get to eat it because it was filled with gluten.
Yeah, I do.
That's the that's a poke cake. Remember I poked holes in the back?
Oh, so that's what it means.
Yes. Poke cake is delicious. And if you use Oreos and you crush them up, anything that is left over, any leftover Oreos, you can eat yourself.
Yeah.
So good. So you can see this process is a little bit time consuming, but it's still really simple. It's just so easy. Oh, someone just woke. Oh, Nina. Someone's napping in the catification. She just woke up. She likes to sing when she wakes up. Any questions or?
Let's see here. My video shut down on my screen, so I'm trying to bring it back up. If you're asking questions, I'll get to them in 2 seconds here.
All right, we're having technical difficulties over here at the house, so if you are asking questions for me, we'll answer them in just a couple of minutes.
Andy's got 100 screens open.
He really does. This one's kind of coming undone, so I'm going to try to...
Remember to like the page, guys. Sign up for the recipe.
Yep, if you want the recipes that we're working on, go ahead and go to chickenandnugget.com. You can sign up for the recipes. It's basically your first name and your email address, and you'll get our recipes. For those of you that are watching that are vegan or vegetarian, there are some omnivore recipes, but you can easily modify those to make into what suits your lifestyle, your dietary choices, or your dietary needs. I try to cook for all diets simply because all diets are represented in my life, in my family, and my friends.
Edith Eckert says, "Hi, Bridget."
Hi, Edith. How are you? So yeah, and if you are an omnivore, but you need to cook for someone who's a vegan or vegetarian, this is a great kind of place to get some ideas. Or if you just want to try out some vegan recipes, this is also a really great place for that.
This is a good question.
What's the question?
We might not actually know the answer for this, but BCR has a lot of land, so we might not have an issue. What do we do? What happens on like 4th of July and holidays with fireworks in the cats?
I know that someone has asked Carol this question during her walkabout, and I do believe she said that it's not a super huge problem for the cats with the fireworks. Just because we...
Priya would try to catch them.
Priya would probably try to catch them. I don't believe it's a big issue for the cats. If memory serves correctly, I think I remember hearing Carol say that the fireworks didn't necessarily disturb the cats entirely. That doesn't mean that there aren't some cats that will be freaked out or kind of restless, but it's not something that is truly devastating for all of them. And that's what I believe I remember hearing Carol say. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Carol, she is our founder. She's the woman who started Big Cat Rescue, and we are grateful for her.
Hey, just out of curiosity, what happens on the nights when I usually have my dinner?
We order pizza.
Are you ever going to do a gluten dessert or a gluten-free dessert for Andy?
I have made a couple gluten-free desserts. Before we started this series, I've definitely made some gluten-free desserts.
You did an awesome one the other day for when you were attempting to make the gluten-free pie crust experiment.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that.
That was a disaster gone
Oh
awesome.
my gosh. So for any of you who watched last Friday and you heard me talk about trying to make a gluten-free hand pie for Andy, it did not go well. It was not well received. The pie crust did not come together for me. It was frustrating and irritating. And I think shortly thereafter is when we went ahead and ended up watching White Christmas.
That was good.
So we ended up, I ended up basically taking my pie crust. Oh, geez Louise, these are slippery. I ended up taking my pie crust and I crumbled it up over some peach pie filling for Andy. So it was a gluten-free, oh, son of a nutcracker. Wet hand, dry hand. Wet hand, dry hand.
Sink.
Yeah. So I ended up taking the pie crust and basically just crumbling it over the pie filling and baking it off in the oven. He said it was delicious. So oh, Delilah has a lizard.
I'm on it.
This is what happens in Florida. So
to save Lizard's life.
if you have questions, you'll have to wait until he gets back. But I have made some gluten-free desserts in the past. I have done a French dessert that involves almond flour. So I did that, and that went over really well. There was almonds and I think strawberries I made them with. I can't quite remember. But I have made a couple of gluten-free desserts that Andy can partake in. But he's not a huge dessert fan, which to me is very strange. So I'm hoping I have enough space to make all of these on one sheet tray, but I don't know that I do. So, as I said before, this is kind of a tedious process, but it's not a complicated process. It really doesn't involve a lot of measuring or planning in advance. So if you've got a tube of biscuit dough in your refrigerator and you're looking for something for dessert, this is a really yummy recipe. And it's so simple. Did the lizard make it?
Yes.
Good job. Thank you.
What kind of cats do we have and how many?
All right, so we basically just have a lot of domestic short hair cats, although we have 2 domestic long hair cats. And we have 9. We have 9 cats, which is a lot of cats, but we have a lot of love to give. And we have no human children, so we've sort of dedicated our lives to cat loving and cat rescuing because it's just kind of how it went.
Okay, what was going on with the doctor's appointment today?
Oh, so George is in renal failure, which basically means that his kidneys are starting to slowly shut down. It's unfortunately one of the bigger issues with cats in general, loving them and having them in our lives. Because cats eat such a high protein diet, their kidneys have to work really, really hard, and because of that, you have a lot of cats that end up with kidney difficulties, and George is one of them. But we are lucky enough to have an amazing vet team and, care that we can get him. So George goes in for acupuncture once a month. He gets acupuncture and he gets vitamin B12 injections. That might not work. Those are just too tight. They're going to expand. So that's what was going on this morning. He had his acupuncture appointment. So he loves going to see Dr. Donna. She gives him all kinds of catnip, and then she just does acupuncture on him, and it actually works pretty well for him. He is successfully enjoying his life. We've had our ups and downs. There have been days that have been really, really great, and days that have not been all that awesome. So we just kind of go with the flow and see what each day is going to be like. And typically after acupuncture and B12 injections, he spends a good majority of the day snoozing. And then his appetite sort of returns and he eats really well, and then it tapers off. So we just kind of go with what he's giving us. But that was the beginning part of our day. It's George and his acupuncture treatment. Do we have any other questions?
Liz Green said that the backpack carrier was cool.
Thanks. He really likes that backpack carrier. I'm not sure that it would work for all of our cats, but it really works well for him. And since he goes to the vet the most often out of all the cats, we went ahead and invested in that backpack cat carrier.
Let's see. Are you coming up with a recipe for the donuts?
The donuts is not really a recipe, but I can tell you what it is. It's just biscuit dough cut into quarters and rolled, and then dipped in melted butter and a sugar mixture, which is 1/2 cup sugar to 2 tablespoons. I think I did 2 tablespoons. This is Chinese 5-spice. And I don't think I'm going to have enough room to do all of these. I think I can get another... Yeah, I think I can get another 4. And then I'm just going to bake these according to the instructions on the label. So this label says 350 degrees for 16 to 19 minutes. So I'm just going to cut that down a little bit. I'm going to start with maybe like 12 minutes and see if they're see if I feel like they're cooked through. And then I can always add more time. But that's just what the label says. So since they're not the full size, I'm not going to do the full amount of time right out the gate. It's not a whole biscuit. Oh, poop. Wet hand, dry hand got mixed up. All right. So I am going to wash my hands, and then I'm going to pop these in the oven. In the June, really, is what it is. What?
So you finish telling everybody what happened with June this past week?
I can't hear you.
Did you finish telling everybody what happened with June this past week?
Not yet. I was waiting.
Oh, okay. We'll just wait on that. It's awesome.
So yeah, we've got this amazing toaster oven, which is really not a toaster oven. It's so much more than that. All right, I'm gonna pop these in the oven. I'm going to start with 12 minutes and just see how that works. And then I've got these last 4 that I need to make up, but I will take care of those in a couple minutes. Those may expand into each other now that I'm actually thinking about it, so they may just get all stuck together, but they'll still taste delicious.
Cinnamon pizza.
Cinnamon pizza. Cooking is just perfectly imperfect. I say it all the time. So, these may not be the most gorgeous thing that anybody's ever seen, but that doesn't mean that they won't taste delicious, and it doesn't mean that people won't enjoy eating them. So you just have to remember that when you're making food for people. It doesn't have to look like a 5-star restaurant. It just has to taste good. And when you've made something for people, they know that you've made it with love, and that really makes a big difference, I think. So do we have any questions? I'm going to turn my oven off real quick.
No, the cats kind of derailed the cooking. But, yeah.
Cats always derail everything.
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
But no questions. I think we're good on the questions.
All right. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to kind of wrap up here. So I'll kind of do another 5 minutes or so if anybody has any questions. I just want to remind everybody to like and follow us on Facebook at Chicken and Nugget. And if you would like to receive our recipes, you can go ahead and sign up on our website, which is chickenandnugget.com. And you just fill out the little form on the side. It just asks for your first name and your email address.
I agree, Liz. Love is the most important ingredient.
Love is the most important ingredient, as cheesy as that sounds.
So what's in the Chinese spice?
Chinese 5-spice, it doesn't always have the exact same ingredients, but it's typically cinnamon and sometimes nutmeg. But then there's also star anise, which has kind of a licoricey flavor. So it's not like super pronounced, like in your face black licorice, but it sort of has that subtle smell and taste in sort of the back. It's sort of in the background flavor. So if you, I know you guys can't smell this, but if you put your nose in there, Sardone.
Man, that's something.
It's the star anise.
All right.
So Chinese 5-spice is usually cinnamon and star anise, and then other flavors. It can be used in a savory application, which ordinarily it is, but for some reason I've really been digging it in the sweet application with sugar. I actually made a Chex Mix with this, which is one of the desserts that I did make that Andy could partake in. I made a Chex Mix with this, and there's a churro Chex Mix that's just cinnamon and sugar, but instead of the cinnamon, I did the Chinese 5-spice. So, so that's it's a great just sort of mix up. It just kind of makes people, it keeps people on their toes. Any other questions that we have?
No. People want to know what the June news is.
Oh, you'll have to wait.
You'll have to wait.
You'll have to wait.
It's a next week thing.
There's some news coming, some June news coming. You'll have to wait. We'll keep you guys on your toes. Let's see, July 9th, we'll be doing a live cooking show at Big Cat Rescue with volunteers and interns participating. So you guys can actually come along with us to what we call the party house, and we'll be cooking live at Big Cat Rescue. You won't see any cats, at least not from us. If you're interested in watching live videos with the cats, you can go to Big Cat Rescue on Facebook and follow us on Facebook. There's plenty of live videos and other pre-recorded and edited videos that our media team works on. And
what are you drinking?
Oh, I'm just drinking water, just ice water.
Is that a Packers cup?
It is a Packers cup. Bam! Yeah, go Pack, go. It's a Packers cup. Yeah. I love my Green Bay Packers. I may be a Wisconsin girl or a Florida girl now, but I still do love Wisconsin, but not in the winter. It's too cold. I'd rather be outside during the middle of August in Florida than inside in the middle of February in Wisconsin. So on July 9th, we will have a special surprise guest cooking with me. So that is something to stay tuned in for. We will not be doing a live that following Friday. I have my volunteer appreciation team meeting that Friday. So I will be at Big Cat from about 7 a.m. until about 7 p.m. So it'll be a long, long, long day for me. So we'll just do the live on Tuesday instead of Tuesday and Friday.
Is it appropriate for me when people say like "Go Patriots" or "Go Vikings"? I give them angry faces.
Don't do that. That's not nice. Everybody's entitled to enjoy their personal football team.
I'll remove the angry faces.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, go Raiders, Andy. No.
It's okay. Everybody's allowed to like who they like, and they have certain reasons for that. As much as I dislike the Vikings, as long as you are a Vikings fan and you are a decent human being, a kind person, that is okay. Just be good to animals and people. That's my philosophy. So, real quick, if you guys have not made the call of the wild yet this week or today, please text the word cats to 32886. 32886?
32886.
Thank you. I've said it so many times that I kind of forget what it is now. So the Call of the Wild is also known as the Big Cat Public Safety Act. It is what we are working towards as far as the end of private ownership of exotic cats in the United States. So if you are a United States citizen and you would like to help rescue big cats, you can text the word cats to 52886. You'll follow the link on your phone when it shoots you a little text back, and then you will fill out the spaces. Fill out the form. That was a tricky word.
Use your words.
Yeah. Dude, it's been a long week. So you just fill out the form, and it will help you make a call to your congressperson. We're just in Congress right now presenting this. And you will just say, hi, my name is, my zip code is. Please ask your boss to co-sponsor the Big Cat Public Safety Act. And it is after 5 o'clock here on the East Coast, so you will absolutely get a voicemail, and you can just leave a message. But all those calls will help end, hopefully help end the private ownership of exotic cats in the United States, where there are currently more cats living in backyards in the state of Florida and Texas combined than there are living out in the wild. That will also help end, hopefully, cub petting, which is a really terrible, not good practice. Cubs are basically ripped away from their mothers, hours old, maybe days if they're lucky, and then they're used as photo props until they're too big to be handled safely by the public. So it's a really tragic and traumatic event for all parties involved, except those who are making money off of it. So I will get down off my soapbox now and answer any last minute questions, whether that be about cats or cooking. I'm happy to do that. If you guys have any last minute questions.
Carol asked, what if you don't text message?
I think you can go to bigcatact.com, and there might be information about it there if you do not have a text messaging capability. I think you can do that. But it's for United States citizens.
And apparently you can't do that from Italy. Andy has informed us of that.
No, you can't make the Call of the Wild from any other country but the United States, which we're sad about.
Cool.
Do we have any other questions?
No, it looks like we are good here.
All right, if you guys have any questions or you come up with any questions, go ahead and send us a message on Chicken and Nuggets Facebook page. You can email me, Bridget@chickenandnugget.com. You can also comment, and I will do my best to get back to you. It may be a day or two because I still have a lot of cooking to do today and tomorrow. But we will be on the road starting Sunday, so I will have plenty of time to respond then. And if you guys have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We're going to take next Friday off and spend time with family. So
yeah, we're going to go Instagram craziness this week.
Oh,
so.
Instagram? Oh,
yeah,
Instagram.
So expect a bunch of photos that don't have food in them. But
some may have food.
Yeah.
some may have food. And we may do a couple of quick live, videos, just sort of impromptu. So you may end up with a couple of impromptu notifications that we went live. But if you just want to know what's going on or when we're going to be around, you can keep tabs on us.
A few people want to see what the donuts look like after they're done. So
Okay.
Let's give them a quick second. Yes, D, you missed the first part, but it's pre-recorded. Well, it's not pre-recorded, but it will be published again, and therefore it will be pre-recorded when you watch it.
You won't miss out on too much, even though
Thanks,
we're
Liz.
sad. Oh, so this was one of those layered biscuits.
Yeah, they came out great. Oh, wow, they came out weird.
Yeah, they're like one of those layered biscuits, I guess. I did not... Oh, yeah, flaky biscuits. I did not pay attention to that. Don't use the flaky
These are
biscuits.
gonna be awesome.
These are definitely strange. They look like they're done. But, yeah. So this is what they look like with the layered flaky biscuit style. I'm sure they'll taste delicious. Again, it's perfectly imperfect. So, so they're not exactly what I thought they would be in my head. I'm pretty sure they're still going to taste really awesome. Let's just be honest about that. This is going to be delicious. I don't care what it looks like. It's going to be tasty. So, I'm going to finish these last 4 donuts, as I'm calling them. So if you guys have any questions or need anything, let us know. We'll be happy to help you. And I will get to you guys just as soon as I can. Again, remember, be patient with me. It may not be tonight or tomorrow. It may be Sunday before I can get to you guys. But enjoy the solstice. Have a great, great day. The longest day of the year here in North America. I'm going to go ahead and prop these bad boys up for you so you can kind of see them a little bit better.
Moving closer to the camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
People are asking for close-ups.
I'm sorry. I did not know. You don't tell me these things. You have
These
to
are the most unique
verbalize.
donuts I've ever seen.
Yeah, these really are not donuts. But
They're flaky,
pastries.
sugary.
Pastries.
They're awesome.
They're flaky pastries
They're awesome.
with
I'm
Chinese
down.
5 spice.
I'm down.
So I'm gonna. Can I put these down now because the pan is very warm and my hot pads are
It's okay.
okay. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the sun. It's officially the first day of summer here, so have a great summer, you guys. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. If you're out and about, watch for crazies. But have a great weekend, and if you need anything, let us know, and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can. Any last-minute questions?
Nope, we are all good. Everybody's, Liz said biscuits.
Yeah, they're basically biscuits.
Cinnamon biscuits.
Cinnamon biscuits. It's all good.
Everybody says they look awesome. So we'll post a photo of the teriyaki stuff, and we'll post a photo of the donut stuff.
We'll just post a photo of the hot lunch and when it's fully prepared and ready to go out the door tomorrow.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram if you're not already, or just post it on Facebook. Anyways.
Yeah, we are on Instagram as Delilah and Joy. That's where you can find us on Instagram, is Delilah and Joy. Those are the names of the 2 cats who inspired the name Chicken and Nugget, because Chicken and Nugget was and is their nicknames. So,
and thank you for everybody wishing us a safe trip next week. If the truck breaks down again, everybody take a look. Deidre sold me that. She's currently watching. Yeah, we can send her messages.
it's not Dee's fault. The truck does not work all the time.
Shut up.
All right, so I'm going to finish this here and get working on the next step of my food prep for our trip. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great weekend. And we will see you in 2 weeks, but maybe before then. Who knows? Who knows what will come over the next couple weeks. So have a great time, you guys. We'll miss you while we're gone, but we look forward to sharing our adventures with you along the way. So take it easy. Be safe. Bye, guys.